I think you're far more versed to give me this to give a take on this topic. The Arizona Cardinals hired a minority candidate coach, Wilks from the Carolina Panthers, defensive coordinator. So go ahead, give me a take or a tangent.
Cool, I'm gonna give a take on this. Steve Wilks. I immediately thought Steve Wilkos because Jerry Springer and the fact that he was on TV. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's be honest, a lot of people watch Steve Wilkos for some stupid reason. But whatever. Anyway, Steve Wilks, he was the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, and he coached up a great defense, even though they lost a lot of pieces, and Star Latuatelli is underwhelming. He kept bringing, great play from that secondary at times.
He made the most of the secondary. He made the most of an aging defensive line.
And Thomas Davis...
And an aging linebacker core.
Admitted that he's going to retire after 2018 and got invited to the Pro Bowl as an alternate this year. So good for him. And Shaq Thomas is what he is. But it's good to see that he's...
Who was Thomas Davis before Thomas Davis?
Thomas Davis was a safety at Georgia.
No, the other outside linebacker for Carolina that was really good, but that got hurt too.
Mark Fields? He had cancer, though.
No.
He was 11th overall pick at Washington State.
No, I know who Mark Fields is. It'll come to me. All right, Go ahead, continue.
Anyway, the fact that somebody actually respected the Rooney Rule and actually vetted people and didn't just go for old names and regurgitating middle-aged white offensive coordinators. They actually got someone...
Mike McCoy.
North Turner. Pat Shermer. Sorry. At least it wasn't Darrell Bevel. He got fired.
He got a position job, though, somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
But go ahead, finish your take. We don't have a lot of time.
I'm just glad that Wilks is going to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals usually make the right choices with head coaches. That's what I'll say about the organization as of late. GM they have, Klein, I like what they do there at that organization. They're actually trying to desperately make that franchise a winner. And Fitzgerald's coming back around. And that defense is an unfair cheat code with all that talent. I'm glad. I just hope they fix the offensive line and the offense in general.
I'm glad minorities didn't get shut out. That's always a win. But I think what you were trying to say is Arizona gives people a chance.
Fairly.
It gives coordinators we haven't seen a chance at a head coaching job.
Doesn't go nepotism either.
So we're not seeing the same old
middle-aged white male, in the words of Tom Looney,
who already failed. Which, by the way, I'm gonna give you back-to-back. So Mike Freeman, Bleacher Report, Yahoo, former one of the sports writing goats.
OG, triple OG.
He had a theory to what you were saying about the Rooney Rule, since the Raiders most likely violated it, even though it can't really be proven. What he was saying is the league kind of gave it a pass, as in saying, if you sign Kaepernick, help us out. You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. Freeman even admitted, I really can't prove this at all, but that's kind of how the NFL works, so it wouldn't really surprise me at all. So
he's in the Bay Area. I guess I go tangent on this one. Politics in the Bay Area, being from Oakland, East Oakland, stuff like this happens all the time. I would hope that Kaepernick respectfully declines and doesn't take any type of deal. Because at this point, if him getting signed, it would pretty much write off everything he's done so far to be a backup for the Raiders. Because you ain't going to be the franchise QB if you go to Oakland, right? I don't care what John Gruden says. No, it's not happening. Especially when the tight end coach got fired for no reason. Most of his staff is white. Just old coaches from just different places. A lot of nepotism. He has a conservative kind of way about himself. Let's be honest about Gruden. And I don't care if it is Oakland.
I don't know if that's fair to say that.
Not like super conservative, but I mean, like,
I don't know if
he plays by the rules.
I don't know if
that's of the
fair
NFL.
To say that. I don't know if that's fair.
I mean, you don't think he's a company man as far as the NFL goes?
I mean, you're talking about the youngest coach. For a long time, he was the youngest coach, and you're talking about someone who was really a disruptive force.
Yeah, but he wasn't like
I don't really.
He wasn't backlashing.
I don't really think you can say that, and I think
he's different now.
And I think the coaching is more of his connections, as in his connections are more far back. But that's anything. He's not connected to the game like right now to where he has up and coming staffers to be like, oh, okay. And like, let's be fair, there are black people on staff. It's not.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, it's nepotism in the form of it's the same old NFL politics.
I know what you're saying, but that's
yeah, but I know how it came off.
I don't think it's fair to just.
I'm not lumping him in there.
You can't by himself. You can't just put Gruden there. And like,
I'm not just saying him, but I'm saying
for that.
Mark Davis.
We haven't seen enough from Gruden to honestly make that.
That's why I'm not putting that claim just on him. I'm saying if you look at how Mark Davis is running everything top down, and yes, Richard McKenzie's on staff, I get that, but if you really just look at how the Raiders are kind of handling things nowadays, even with how they handled the protest, it was kind of on the fence. And like a guy like Kaepernick might call out.
You're talking about
call out
Cable.
Some fence riding.
So why don't you just say it?
I wasn't talking about Cable. I wasn't talking about Cable at all.
I thought you were talking about domestic abuse.
No, I'm saying in terms of fence riding and like what they say in their actions. Like no one can say
that Tom Cable would be an example of that.
That's low hanging fruit though. I'm just talking about if you look at Davis and how everything's gone down, especially with the protest. You think Kaepernick's going to be a guy who's going to go in there and not say anything ever? And I think the media's going to find a story.
And I think that's the biggest thing from this that I take away from it is that Mike Freeman is connected with the Raiders. He's written books about Raiders. He's connected to Kaepernick. He's been, covering the story fairly.
Be surprised if that offer came up though.
So, to me, I don't think Freeman would just throw that out there, even if it is just pure speculation, for no reason. Because ultimately, it hurts Kaepernick more than anything. Like
and his credibility.
Now Kaepernick can't take a job. So even if he wanted to, and even if the Raiders wanted to, like even if it was completely organic, it's never going to happen now. Because Mike Freeman put it out into the universe that
it's like the Ravens thing.
Could be, yeah.
But I think people were making that, earlier.
But the Ravens were smart because they took a survey about it and they put it on the fans and said the fans were like, "Oh, we wouldn't support this." So that's fair.
But let's be real. Al Davis wanted Colin Kaepernick
for sure.
So if you just bring up those old ties, you could say, "Well, he's always has a connection to the Bay Area." Samuel NaVorro Bowman has a connection to the Bay Area. For sure. So to say he might be a Raider isn't a stretch.
But that's what I'm saying is it would have made sense, even just bringing him as a backup because
that would be a quick.
Emmanuel's gone.
He may resign, but that would be a quick pro.
But what I'm saying is now it's not going to happen for sure. Now it can't happen.
Might have been Arizona.
Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about, we only have a couple more minutes on the Touchdown to Tangents podcast.
Senior Bowl?
We can save that till next week when it wraps up
the game.
We can talk about the Senior Bowl. But
is Kenny Hill trash? Yes or no?
Kenny Hill was trash. His draft stock is gone.
Kenny Trill.
Logan Woodside? I didn't get to watch the East-West game because they were hating at the NFLPA game. I was like, "Yo, can we get this on the TV?" And they're like, "Nah." I was like, "Y'all don't support the kids?" Like, it's a Shrine game, bro. Like, it's bigger than the game.
Sadly, Quentin Flowers had to pull out of that game because he had a death at the family at the last second. I really root for that dude, man. He's had a lot of people in his family die.
I can't remember his name. Brandon Hodges. His family actually had a tragedy too that he actually played through, but a couple of his family members got shot, killed. So shout out to him, man. Frank Harrell balled. He actually did something which was cool. First fumble recovery. Did you get to watch the East-West Shrine game?
Nah, I caught some highlights, but I didn't really see much.
What'd you see from the highlights?
I just saw like a couple of plays here and there. I was looking on Twitter.
Like what? Who jumped out?
I didn't see enough for anyone who jumped out. All I saw was that the defensive line,
as
the overall group, was dominant. The defensive line had some risers. I think some of the secondary is going to get looks.
I think that's the biggest thing from this whole entire draft class is the defensive line. So, last thing. XFL's back. My take on it is it's trying to make football great again. As in, yes, it's targeting a niche audience that is turning away from football because of the protests and the politics and stuff like that. Because,
and white supremacy.
Yeah, pretty much. Because Vince McMahon has pretty much said the game will not have politics. He's going to try to make it safer, blah, blah, blah. Which I think it's cool, as in, like, it's always good to have competition. And since the XFL is a startup, hopefully they can do some things like they did before to transcend the game as far as cameras, technology in the ball, streaming, all that different stuff. But at the same time, since it's Vince McMahon, he's going to have the final say. Since it's all Vince McMahon, it's going to be a lot of Vince McMahon politics. So that part I'm not excited for.
Should I save this for my rant? I feel like I should.
Do you have something real quick? We have...
Okay, for those of y'all who don't know, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is the CEO, pretty much runner of WWE, formerly WWF, World Wrestling Entertainment. And there's a history of just blatant racism and white supremacy and screw jobs.
And his wife's in Trump's cabinet.
Yes, and there's been a lot of racist stuff that's happened with wrestlers and him. And he's even on video shooting a promo saying to Booker T, "What's up, my nigga?" Yeah, that happened. I'm not making that up. There was no hyperbole in what I just said. That really happened. And he's best friends with Trump. So you couple that with the fact that...
Your rant.
Alright, yeah, I might as well. So to couple that in with the fact that him and Trump are best friends, and Brady and Trump are best friends, and all these people friends with Trump, a deplorable human being, and Vince McMahon has done deplorable things to people in the wrestling business. And like there was a storyline where he said, "Hey, Steph, you should be impregnated," and like someone will say, "I'm the father." Yeah, that was gross too. So I'm worried. I'm worried about what the NFL is going to look like. I mean, XFL.
Alright, well, so my take is, I don't have a lot of time, but I just want to say the NFL draft is officially here. Senior Bowl is here. East-West, NFLPA just passed. It's the best time of the year because it's like life. Dreams are made, hearts are broken, there are risers, there are fallers, it's market value, it's team needs, it's everything that makes us human, everything that makes us capitalists, all combined into one short little season. And I'm excited for it. I hope some kids can really make an impact, change their lives, feed their families, live their dreams. That's really what we're trying to do with this podcast, and that's why we're always trying to get better. We're always trying new things, trying to take it to the next level. This is the Touchdowns and Tangents podcast. You can catch us on iTunes, Spreaker.
Still said it wrong. Google Play,
Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter,
SoundCloud, iHeartMedia, Del Taco drive-thrus,
random Chinese food parking lots, or rallies. Shout out to the GOAT.
Sit down fuss spots when we're feeling fancy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because really, this podcast is like that hot broth that just warms your insides and makes you feel like
your mother hugs you.
You're not so sick.
It's like when you eat something that makes you remember how much your mom loved you as a kid and hugged you, and it almost makes you cry on the inside. And then your girl asks you, "What's wrong?" You're like, "Nothing. Everything's perfect."
Catch us again Thursdays at 8ish. Stay tuned. We got a bunch of stuff down the pipeline. Touchdowns and Tangents about to go to the next level.
Yep.
Peace.
Deuces.